Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Merry Christmas to everyone. Luckily for me, I don't. Well, unluckily for me, I get to stay home kind of just alone. Plans kind of fell through. People getting sick. It's like 30 degrees outside. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and make an episode. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about the flow in my aquarium. Now, some people have mentioned I do have kind of a fun way of mounting the Reefwaves in my tank. So these are the Reefwave 45s, and I have them actually attached here to the Euro brace. So I have 1, 2, and 3. So 2 on the right and 1 on the left. And today what actually happened was I was able to get a really good deal on a used Reefwave for just about $150. So I wanted to go ahead and add it to this side just to complete the flow. Now, you kind of may be wondering why, and it really just has to do with just all these corals that I have growing out. As you can see, they're kind of starting to grow into each other, and as they grow into each other, it's going to start shading out certain parts. So, for example, I don't know if you can see it right there. I have a little bit of a dead spot. Behind here, I have a little bit of a dead spot as well. Generally, from my experience, even though there's no light hitting the bottom of this coral right here, the flesh will usually be there. It'll just be a little paler, but I do believe it is the lack of flow that is causing that, just because I have plenty of flow here in the front. Obviously you can see the direct line of sight of the wave makers, but obviously I don't have much flow back here. Now, I do have one of the return pumps of the Red Sea pointing in that direction, which I would assume does help a little bit, but it's probably just not enough. So I do feel like, moving this guy over and putting the new Reefwave right here is going to be perfect. Now, the Reefwave I purchased is going to be cleaned right now just to make sure it's spick and span and ready to go. But before, we put it into the tank, I want to also go ahead and do a quick cleaning of the other Reefwaves. Just because, they do get a little bit of grimy. There's nothing, for example, like, attached to it or too much coralline or it's going to stop it from moving. That's not really an issue. But they does develop kind of a film that's really hard to see. There's like a really light, kind of like a bacterial film that gets onto these, and then it kind of does slow down the wave, motion. So, just doing a little periodic cleaning is, I think, super helpful, and that's what we're going to go ahead and do today. And then just before we go ahead and do that, I want to show you guys something, which is, you see how it's all white, which is the dead coralline? I have actually noticed that since I've done it this Euro brace way, I don't get really much of any coralline growth. I think that's because it's shaded by the black overflow, which I feel like it keeps these Reefwaves cleaner longer. So, option to consider, but I do like them right here. They are perfect. They're out of the way. It does not look like I have any power heads in my tank. From the straight point of view, and then when you do it from the side point of view, it's really not very noticeable, just because it's attached to the top of the tank. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get all these guys off, get them soaked up, and get them cleaned. All right, so I have all the Reefwaves off. This one is actually the new guy that we got. So we're going to go ahead and get them cleaned as well. I have all the tubes set right here. I wanted to show you guys what it looked like. So this is one that's not clean. You can see the little kind of a jelly gumminess to it. It's like the bacteria that gets on these Reefwaves. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but it actually does impede quite a good amount of flow. So that's kind of what I was worried about. That's on pretty much all the ones that are currently on my tank, so we're going to go ahead and clean them up. I currently have them just in a solution of vinegar and water. I know some people don't like to use vinegar anymore, but I've used it for a very long time. I've had no problems with it. Also, none of these have magnetic parts in it, so it won't make a magnet explode or whatever. But yeah, we're just going to let them soak for a little bit. I'm going to take a toothbrush to get these guys spick and spam, and then we'll get them back over the tank, and we'll hook up with this guy as well. All right, so we have the new Reefwave mounted. So I now have 2 on one side. You can see the pretty hectic amount of flow just going in. You can see all these little euphilia right here are just moving and grooving. Same thing with all my other torches and hammers. Cleaning these up really does help. I feel like it adds maybe like another 20% in flow just from cleaning, because even though it's not clogged, it does get pretty grimy, so I guess it does lose efficiency. But they're nice and strong now. You can see all this stuff that it's currently kicking up, just because that flow has been turned down by the grime for a little bit, but it's nice and strong now. But yeah, everything is moving and grooving. You can see my little weeping willow right here is doing super fine. But yeah, hopefully that helps with, cutting down on the SPS loss. Well, not really loss, just a little bit of tissue recession. But yeah, I mean, the whole left side is full of SPS, so getting a second one was required regardless. I just never kind of got around to it. It actually didn't really make sense to keep 2 over there because there's just a lot more, LPS type of coral. But yeah, for now, it looks super good. I'm super happy with the flow right there. We're going to let it blow around and kind of just clean up all the, detritus in the small corners that kind of maybe collected. That's kind of what the dirtiness that you see right now is. But that is it for today's episode. I'm super happy to finally get a 4th Reefwave. For now, I think it'll do fine. Who knows? Maybe I'll need more flow later on in the future. But that is it for today's episode. Thank you guys for just joining me for a quick one. But I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.